Yeah, guys, we got it from here. High school football is back, and we are all over the Sacramento region. Kevin, John, and I are ready to go. We hope you are too, so let's get to it. All right, welcome into our second week of Friday Night Football on ABC 10. I'm Lina Washington. He's Kevin John, and we've got a lot of exciting highlights coming from Week 1, and we will start with the highly anticipated matchup between two of the best teams in our region, the four-time state champion Folsom Bulldogs and the Jesuit Marauders, kicking things off with our ABC 10 Game of the Week. This game going down under the lights at Sac State's Hornet Stadium. It's a home game for Jesuit, and for Folsom, it's the beginning of a new era. First time head coach Paul Doherty will be coaching the Bulldogs, taking over after longtime head coach Chris Richardson, who's now on Sac State staff. And the Bulldogs waste no time scoring. That's quarterback Jacob Reifmeyer running it in for the Folsom touchdown. The atmosphere in this game, electric, and the Marauders feeding off their fans' energy here, powering this next play from Jacob Peluso to Jacob Hall. That is a touchdown strike, and the Jesuit Marauders are on the board. But the Bulldogs will show us why they are the reigning state champions. They can score a lot of points in a lot of different ways, and we've seen a lot of touchdowns scored by this guy in the last 3 seasons, Elijah Badger, taking this kickoff return all the way to the house. He's not really this fast, but for the sake of time, we sped it up. And just like that, the Folsom Bulldogs will run away with this game under the lights at Sac State, beating Jesuit by 40 points in our ABC 10 Game of the Week. Not a bad way to usher in the Paul Doherty era.
We feel good about it. It kind of went as planned, where we had a chance to look at a bunch of kids. We didn't get a chance to play everybody, which is tough with 75 kids, but we played a ton. We started 22 different guys, played 2 quarterbacks, played a lot of depth, played 3 sophomores out there on a team that's, pretty talented with a lot of kids. So we got the win, feel good about it.
So that is a statement win for the Bulldogs. Jesuit Marauders will have to bounce back next week.
I was going to say, I love how Folsom just doesn't miss a step at all.
Yeah.
New coach, new year, same results.
That is why they are the 4-time state champions, Kevin.
Seriously. All right. Well, this next game takes us down to Modesto for a game that could have very easily been our game of the week. I mean, at least on paper it could have been. Regardless of the outcome, it was a matchup of 2 of the state's best high school football teams. Grab your popcorn. Welcome to Central Catholic High School, where the Raiders welcome in one of the nation's best, the Spartans from De La Salle and Concord. We're going to pick things up early on. Central Catholic ball. That's Darton. Duracet throws a long ball. Look at that interception there by Zeke Berry. Ooh-wee. Of course, the Spartans would capitalize on this. Dorian Hale hands the ball off to Nico Torres, and he's off to the races. He's in for a 20-yard touchdown. That put them up 28-0. Next time around, Dorian Hale, he's going to take matters into his own hands, because when you're a QB that's that sweet, you can do those kind of things. He takes the handoff here. He fumbles it, picks it back off, and just look at the sauce on him. He gets in. They were up 35-0 at the half. This game was all De La Salle. They go on to pound Central Catholic 49-14.
We'll see Central Catholic or De La Salle in Folsom in a couple weeks. Now, from Modesto, we head to Vacaville, where the Bulldogs are taking on Oak Ridge and the Trojans' new head coach, Eric Cavalier, a former Vacaville Bulldog. His quarterback, Jake Lamson, cutting through a knee injury suffered last week against Lincoln, wearing a brace tonight and looking to give his Trojans a 2-0 start to the new season. Lamson marching his Trojans down the field, and that's Dylan Warfield doing the rest of the work. Oak Ridge on top 7-0. Then Vacaville adds a pair of field goals for more than 40 yards each, courtesy of Chris Sacca, but Lamson going to work for Oak Ridge before the half is over. Look at him avoiding the pressure, rolling out and finding Brandon Barthel all by himself, trotting in for the touchdown. Coach Cavalier victorious in his homecoming. The Trojans cruise 45-20 the victory, and Oak Ridge now 2-0.
Not bad. All right. Granite Bay High School was rocking tonight. Large crowd on hand to witness the Mustangs host DeMonte Ranch out of Reno. And spoiler alert, the home crowd would go home happy. In the third, DeMonte Ranch ball, Weston Smith going back to pass. He competes the pass, but it's to the wrong player. Yep, that is an interception right there. Christian Perry gets the pick. Now, a little bit later on, the Mustangs, of course, will capitalize on it. Dylan Hamilton hits Cole Roth with the short pass. Mr. Roth will dance down the sidelines. Finally gets taken down inside the 5, fumbles the ball, but his player recovers it. Next off, that's Connor Sloan. He takes the handoff, slices through the D-line like a knife through hot butter. This one was all Granite Bay. DeMonte Ranch travels 130 miles from Reno just to get spanked 25-7. Granite Bay moves to 1-1 on the season.
All right, the Central Grizzlies making the trip From Fresno to Grant's Mike Albergini Field, where the Pacers' longtime head coach going into his 28th season at the helm in the first quarter. Grant on the move, but the pass is fumbled, and you'll watch it get recovered by Central's DeCarlo Hewitt. Smart football play here, and he takes it back all the way to the house for the Grizzlies. Touchdown. Central strikes first, 7-0. The Grizzlies looking to light up the scoreboard once again in the first quarter. Jamison Silva will come through the air this time to Jeremiah Hunter, making it 14-0 Grizzlies. This was the first play from scrimmage, so Albergini trying to get his guys in the game, but the Grizzlies have become a force in the Central Valley for a reason. They showed us why tonight. Another TD pass from Silva to Xavier Worthy in the corner to make it 21-0 Grizzlies. Grant Pacers 0-2 to start the season after a 38-7 loss to Central at home.
Ouch. All right. Well, still much more to come. Be sure to stick around with us right after the break.
Yeah, we are just getting started. Still to come, we're hitting Rockland. A big matchup with the Placer Hillman and the Whitney Wildcats. Sack High, our fan game of the week with none other than Johnny Football as the Burbank Titans cheer team takes us out to break.
You're watching Friday Night Football on ABC 10. We are the Wildcat Dance Team, and you're watching Friday Night Football on ABC 10.
Yes, shout out to the Whitney dance team for that. Wildcats hosting Placer tonight. Both teams looking to go 2-0 on the season, but there would only be one. Wildcats wasted no time getting the party started. First offensive possession for them. Eli Brickhandler hits Nick Taney with the short pass, and Taney, he has wheels. He gets in for the touchdown. Wildcats take an early 7-0 lead. Crowd pumped up, but Placer would answer right back. Jesse Wingham takes the handoff. He reaches pay dirt for 6. The extra point would fell. Little later on, Wildcats ball. Quarterback Eli Brickhandler taking matters into his own hands, and watch him go 0 to 100 real quick right there. He shows off his speed as he races 64 yards for the touchdown, and it was pretty much that kind of evening for them. For Whitney, they go on to defeat Placer 47-34. Wildcats go to 2-0 on this season.
All right, now comes the part where we reward you, our lovely audience, with this week's fan game of the week with our own John Bartel, a.k.a. Johnny Football.
Absolutely, Lina. This is my favorite part of the show right here. Last week, Johnny Football was up north in Paradise. This week, because of your votes, he heads south into the corral at Oakdale High School. Take it away, Johnny Football.
Hey, Johnny Football here in Oakdale. There's 3 things I love about this football-loving town. First off is the Oakdale Testicle Festival. Yes, it's a real thing. Number 2, the Oakdale Fire Horn. And of course, number 3, Mustang football. Let's go look at some highlights.
They call this place the Corral, but someone must have left the gate open because first quarter, there was a stampede by the Mustangs. Watch Leo Ayala gallop right into the end zone for the first touchdown of the night. That's cause for a yee-haw. Still first quarter, Mustangs' opponents Liberty High throws one over the horse's head with this pass. The Snack Shack got a good view of the touchdown. Speaking of snacks, check out what's cooking. This is a Lockford sausage dog. Second quarter, we're back in Mustang territory. Oakdale puts the horsepower on this one, just barely getting it over the line. And if you didn't catch it, Farmer Jude here will explain it to you.
And he just put his shoulder down, drove through 3 guys into the end zone. We got touchdown Oakdale, 40 seconds left in the second quarter.
Final touchdown of the night will go to Liberty. Unfortunately, the ref gets right in my shot. Come on, ref. Liberty will win this game. Final score, 19-14.
Johnny Football in mid-season form. We love it, and we're going to be back right after this.
We are the Tracy High School cheerleaders, and you're watching Friday Night Football on ABC 10.
Thank you, ladies. Let's get you out to Hughes Stadium. Sac City College and the Sac High Dragons hosting the Chico Panthers, who held an early 3-0 lead in the first quarter, but the Dragons D come up huge in the first half. Watch as the Panthers player coughs it up. That's Michael Rayford catching the ball, running it back for the touchdown. Just like that, the Dragons are on the board. Second quarter, the Dragons come up again for another touchdown pass. And look at our guy smiling for the camera. It's Giunge Stevenson getting it in the end zone there. It was 12-3 Sac High at halftime, but the Chico Panthers come back to take this one 26-18 over Sac High. And we have a ton of extra highlights on our ABC 10 YouTube channel. We will see you back here for more Friday Night Football Week 2 coming at you. We'll see you back here next week.